Hey everyone, Camerona here again with a day 2/3 update. It's kind of in between on the two. High level highlights here. Some upgrades that I've made, some changes that I've made. I did a double curse on hit ring setup. This is pretty easy to do. I got curse with elemental weakness on hit here. You just get a hunter influenced ring. I bought this for 3C, and then you reforge caster at the harvest bench, which will guarantee either curse with elemental weakness on hit, despair, or cast speed. Those are the only caster modifiers you can roll on a ring. Same with Redeemer. You get a Redeemer ring. I did a Cogwork ring because we don't need very many prefixes on rings. In fact, we don't need any prefixes at all on rings. Same deal, Reforge Caster. It can only hit Curse on hit or cast speed. Foulborn Utulas. This is the next topic I want to talk about real quick. The easiest way, well, first off, the reason I'm using this is because it's the best chest that you can get for this build for like 4 div. Between 4 and 7, depending on how much it takes to color it and socket it. I spent 4 div on mine. The easiest way to get the colors that you need, I couldn't get all of the right colors, so I swapped out Arcane Surge for Inspiration. But the easiest way is either with a Tailoring Orb, you hit it where you get increased explicit defense modifier magnitudes like what it has, and it can also roll has no red sockets. So if you get has no red sockets, that's an easy way to color it with a Tailoring Orb. Or before you 6-link it, you craft 3 blue, and then you go for either a green or a blue, and then you use Jeweling Orbs. There's a whole trick where you go 3 sockets and then 4 sockets and then 3 sockets and then 4 sockets until you get the color that you want, and then 4 sockets and then 5 sockets and 4 sockets and 5 sockets until you get the next color that you want. And then the last one's probably going to be red, which is fine, and you'll just use Inspiration there. Next topic, the Relicash boots. These are incredible quality of life. Highly recommend getting these as soon as you can. Once you have your defenses and everything else set up, this would be next on the list. Make sure that you get the Frenzy ones. Most of my builds require the Power Charge ones, but we want the Frenzy Charge ones. The reason being is we need our Power Charges as the fuel for this, so we can't use other things that eat our Power Charges like Malachi's Loop, Raven's Secret, Toolfall, all of the other good things that you use for Power Charge stacking. So our Power Charges are legitimate this time, but we're also using Badge of the Brotherhood to give us an equal number of Frenzy Charges to our max Power Charges. And then we're cheesing that, so we always count as having the maximum number of Frenzy Charges so that we can use a Militant Faith. You want a Militant Faith that has Dominus. Nothing else really matters here. You got like 30 Devotion. So the 2 mods on here don't even do anything for me. You just want it to not change this node, and you want Inner Conviction. That's all you want on this Timeless Jewel. I paid like 20C for this. Inner Conviction gives you 3% more spell damage per power charge. I have 10 power charges, so that's 30% more, which is multiplicative. Anytime you see more, it's always multiplicative. And then you gain power charges instead of frenzy charges, which means that anytime I would gain a frenzy charge from Ice Bite support or from Vol Cold Snap, it turns it into a power charge, which helps with our power charge generation, especially in boss arenas. The next thing, Nightmare maps are pretty hard as you're going through your Atlas. I would wait until you have these boots and the Timeless Jewel, double Void Battery or double Foulborn Void Battery, and then around 50% block and spell block. I took this note here because I wanted more spell block, but you don't have to do that. So when I drink my flask, I've got 69%. You want around that much before you attempt Nightmare maps. They are very rippy, and you will probably die in the boss arenas, which is annoying because then you have to get your power charges back. So when you get to Nightmare maps, just put your portal outside of the boss arena and then cast some spells or kill some mobs, do whatever you need to do to get your power charges back before going back into the boss arena so you don't immediately die again. Other than that, I have made it to 134 out of 138. I've got 2 Nightmare maps left to do and 2 Maven invitations left to do. I got the Feared, and then I've got the one with all of the new bosses, and just 2 Nightmare maps that I haven't done yet because I haven't felt like it. I've done everything else with this build, and it has been fairly easy to do. I think I'm on like a 30 div budget-ish, somewhere around there, which is when I attempted doing all of the Nightmare maps, but I got to tier 16 maps 12 hours into the league, and I did it on garbage gear. The last thing that I want to cover in this update video is farming strategies. I've gotten quite a few questions about those. The best farming strategies for this is, since this is a clearing build, is anything that has a lot of mobs that are not really hard to kill. The best farming strategy that I have found by far is strong boxes. So when you get the strong boxes in the Mirage can turn them into operative strong boxes, which poop out scarabs all over the place. There are so many scarabs. So that's what I'm doing right now. I'm doing containment strong boxes with Mirage maps, getting tons of scarabs and going crazy, and it's working out pretty well. But even a cheaper strong box strat, since scarabs are so cheap now that tons of people are doing this, scarab prices have gone down a lot, at least for most of them. So you can do this with cheaper, just do tier 16 maps, or even lower with the cheap ambush scarabs, and you'll still profit a lot. Other things, high fortresses, those are also easy to do with this build. You just stand there. You don't even have to move your mouse. You just hold it there and keep exploding the screen. Everything runs into your cold snaps and dies, and then you sprint your way out. Same with unstable breaches. Those are pretty easy. Delirium is also really, really good with this build. Harvest is doable, but you'll want more single target, just because some of the harvest beasts are pretty strong. And that's about it. That's all I've tested so far. So all of those are good so far. If you have any questions or other things that you want to see in the update video, let me know. I'll put my current POB in there, and I'll catch you next time.